welcome back to It's Easy. In this series I am covering basics of electrical engineering. Previously I discussed about nodal analysis with independent sources. In this video I want to move further, so without a further ado let's get started. In part 6 I will discuss about nodal analysis with dependent sources. First I will give some introduction about dependent sources and then I will proceed towards nodal analysis. In the last video I discussed about nodal analysis with independent sources. If you understand that, then this video is a slight extension of that video where there is only addition of dependent source in a circuit. First of all, what is dependent sources? Dependent sources are the sources which do depend upon other elements of circuit, or you can say that the dependent source value is dependent upon some current or value or voltage which is across some resistor of circuit. As you can see on screen, there is a source like diamond shape. It is a dependent voltage source. Why? Because its value depends upon the value of current which is across the resistor of 50 ohms. Similarly, the second circuit where the dependent current source is dependent upon some value of Ix. Okay, let's now start doing nodal analysis. This is a circuit as an example where there is also dependent source, as you can see on the right side of the circuit. There are nodes or points where we know the value of voltages. There are 2 points where the voltage is unknown and rename them as V1 and V2. There is the current in the circuit called Ix. Using our previous knowledge of KCL, we can write its value in the form of V1. Why we write 25 minus V1 here instead of V1 minus 25 volt? Because in this case the current Ix is flowing from 25 volt towards V1. That's why. According to KCL statement, which states that the entering plus leaving current at any point is equal to 0. Now we have to write an equation for V1. As there are 3 junctions joining at that point, so there will be 3 terms to add here. First one is minus Ix. Now why here we mention that the Ix is negative? Because it is the entering current at point V1. So that's why we write it as negative. Remember the convention where we said that the entering current is negative and leaving is positive. Okay. Then V1 minus V2 divided by 50 for second term, and finally V1 minus 0 divided by 100 equal to 0. At point V2 there would also be 3 terms as there are 3 junctions joining at that point. First one is V2 minus V1 divided by 50. Second one is V2 minus 0 divided by 100, and third one is V2 minus 10 Ix and divided by 50 ohms. Both equations are ready for simplification. Let's first simplify the first equation. And for simplification, just put value of Ix where we found in terms of V1 and then simplify it easily. All these steps are visible on screen and pretty simple. Simplifying the second equation as well by putting value of Ix. So these are 2 simplified equations. I am again using Cramer rule, which is easy as compared to other methods. It is up to you which method you want to choose. You can also simply use calculator function to solve for V1 and V2. In Cramer rule, first of all write the coefficient of developed equations in the form of matrix as you can see on the screen. Then simply take determinant of the matrix. Then make another matrix and replace its first column with the constant which are mentioned onto the right side of equal in both equations. take the determinant of this matrix as well. To find V1, divide determinant of A1 matrix with determinant of matrix A. Similar process will be done by replacing second column this time and find V2 this time. Now the value of V1 and V2 is found. A quick reminder, if you are enjoying this video and want to see more content like this, then sub to the channel would be out of the world. Let's check if our answers are correct or not by putting the determined values of V1 and V2 in KCL equations to verify KCL. The circuit is shown again on screen. The same known voltages are again mentioned on screen, but this time V1 and V2 voltages are also there, as we have now determined them as well using Cramer rule. Finding value of Ix, as now we know the value of voltage V1. You may remember that the voltage at right corner point were 10 multiplied by Ix. So as we have determined the value of Ix now, so the value voltage at that point could also be determined now. Now we have determined voltages on every point of the circuit, and also values of each resistor are already known. So we can simply determine the value of current. Writing KCL, at point V1, these are the three currents found after putting values of V1 and V2 in the equation which we developed at the first place. The negative sign value is the entering current and positive sign value is leaving, as you can see on screen as well. Similarly, verify KCL on point V2 as well, and you will find entering and leaving currents. Okay, so if anyone of you have any queries regarding this video, please do let me know in the comment section. I will try to solve it. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If yes, then consider liking and subscribing. It gives motivation to improve the content. I will be back with next video, but till then, bye.